Somos un grupo aquí de periodistas internacionales y queríamos hablar con Carlos Sousa. Quería comentar sobre la crítica que su empresa está ayudando a la gente a
para nada.
de evasión fiscal.
Nada más quiero que sepan que aquí está claro, está muy claro, nosotros no lavamos dinero, no aceptamos dinero, no tomamos dinero y eso es lo único que les puedo decir.
As many know, one of the biggest leaks in history was the Panama Papers, which was a leak of 11.5 million files from the database of the world's fourth biggest offshore law firm, Mossack Fonseca. These documents exposed offshore tax schemes used by many wealthy people and large companies. Vladimir Putin, being one of the big names this leak affected, had a trail of $2 billion in the scheme. Along with him were leaders such as Pakistan's Prime Minister, Iceland's Prime Minister, the President of Ukraine, and several others. The secret holdings of these leaders and large companies were found in countries such as the British Virgin Islands and Panama. While using offshore structures is actually legal and used for cases such as inheritance and estate planning, a lot of businesses and people act as crooks and take advantage of the system to hide assets for personal and usually criminal gain.
Message from somebody who called himself John Doe and who offered vast amounts of data, and we obviously said yes.
For me it was a miracle because there have been so many journalists around the world. It was impressive moments to realize that if we all do this as a team, the effect will be great.
11 million files accusing banks, businessmen, and over 140 politicians in 50 countries of working the system to avoid paying taxes.
First point to people with ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The relatives of 7 current and former Chinese leaders.
Hidden assets belonging to the family of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif.
So how did they do it? It is believed by many that it was as simple as the software used by the law firm was not up to date. It could also be said outdated software is one of the most common cybersecurity issues today. Being as big of a law firm as they were, it's very surprising that they would keep their software so out of date with all of the clients they had. Another prime reason for the breach was that the law firm was using the same web server for all of its offshore locations. The accounts were not protected by firewall, and they were being accessed remotely using client IDs and logins to access that data. This large law firm didn't even take the basic steps to protect their clients' information and data. As if that would have been enough, though. Even adding a firewall would still not have fully protected the information being used on the same server throughout so many different files in so many different countries. Another rookie mistake by the law firm was not knowing who was accessing the data and when they were accessing it. They had no data lineage record. This is a huge problem in terms of their database. When you don't know who's accessing your files or when they're doing it, nobody can be held accountable. So nobody knows who's looking at what and when they looked at it. Not to mention the ignorance of the law firm to keep sensitive information for one client all together, so once a hacker found one page, they found it all for that specific client. A law firm that deals with such highly sensitive materials should know how to protect it. Technology is ever-changing, and they should understand that enough to update their software, put up firewalls, and just know how to protect their clients.
Law firm Mossack Fonseca has continued to deny any wrongdoing. Earlier this year, the 2 founders of the firm, however, were detained in Panama as part of ongoing inquiries relating to money laundering offences.
This sums up the basis on what happened during the breach, but there are other factors we may not have touched upon. Programming and networking could have too played more of a part in this leak than we know. We can't fail to recognize, though, how much work and effort went into downloading these files on the computers themselves. It's no secret that there was a huge amount of data to be downloaded in order to report on this leak. It was said that these hackers downloaded the information using the same software that was used by international investigators. So maybe if the law firm was using this type of software, the leak wouldn't have happened. While these documents did expose crooks and tax evaders, not everyone in these documents were criminals. Some were just people simply trying to protect their assets, offshore estates, and even inheritance reasons. So yes, for some, it was a total invasion of their privacy and a total distrust in the law firm. But for others, it clearly exposed some of the crooks and criminals we're dealing with in our world today.